Hello everybody, Mike Rondo here. If you're new to the channel, that's my name. And if you've been around, I'm at whole 8 subscribers as last I checked, which is impressive for me, thank you. Welcome back. Smoking a little Epiphany tonight, which is said to be like the equivalent to what Einstein smoked back in the day. Which for me is kind of relevant for today's discussion or thought. Which is something that I've always contemplated quite often every now and then. Like, I don't always go to it, but it pops in my head every now and then and I talk about it. And that is free will. I woke up this morning, and for some reason it popped into my head. And as I was reading a book this morning, the political philosophy book. Sorry if I move around, my back actually kind of hurts. I haven't recovered from the cement job that we were doing, which we haven't finished yet, but we'll get there. And it popped in my head this morning. I'm thinking, well, free will, this is something on the Cantina Cast, back in 2013, it would come up every now and then. We'd have these debates, and this made my co-host at the time, he was uneasy about it, because he didn't like the fact that I kept saying that there's no free will in the Skywalker saga or Star Wars. And I've debated with a few people. I haven't really cultivated my main theory with that. It's going to change and adapt because of the new movies and stuff, because it's not exactly... Well, if it's predetermined, right? They say it's your destiny, then you have no free will. So it always got me to think. So we used to have those debates, and I've always thought about our situation. Now, I do believe we have free will. However, the caveat that I was going with this today, or that way I was thinking of it, is biologically speaking. Because, I mean, your mind or your brain is got all these chemical reactions going off and all that other stuff. And not that I really put a lot of thought or research into this thought process here, because I should have looked it up and saw if there was anything on this, and maybe I will. I've just never really dove into this or thought that science would even try to explain this or even think about it. Or maybe I even read it somewhere at one point that you're just a bunch of chemical reactions in your brain, the synapses that are firing off and everything. And it got me to thinking is, all right, well, I'm a biological organism, right? I'm alive. I just happen to be human. But when you think about nature, and I've thought about nature quite a bit, you see the rabbit doing what the rabbit does, although I haven't seen the rabbit in a while, and there's supposedly some strange disease that's going on with the rabbit population in Rhode Island, so I'm a little nervous for my buddies. And then I think of the birds, especially when I was reading Jurassic Park, and how birds kind of evolved into... dinosaurs evolved into birds, the raptors and whatnot. If you believe that theory, I kind of do. I just got to thinking of things, and I'm like, well, we're all just kind of biology just trying to make its way and survive. And I'm thinking in my head, well, I'm doing the things I'm doing because I think I got choice. And I can do what I want, whenever I want, say what I want. Although, with the Orwellian type of society we live in these days... I guess we really don't have free will. Maybe it's just an illusion. But that's a discussion for another day that I'll have. But this was more of a in your head kind of thing, biological speaking. Like, if you desire say, as a man, for an example, just an easy example. As a man, especially when you're younger, you desire a woman, or you lust after someone you want to, just basically have sex with. And is that really you, or is that the chemical reactions firing off in your head that makes you want that, or desire that? And you really have no control over that. It's just maybe like a drug addict. That's all chemical stuff going on in your head. You get that addicted personality, and you're addicted to the substance or the high that you get from it. It's really not what makes you. I think the dog's out. In that regard, right? It's a chemical reaction that's going on in your head. You want that dopamine, that hit, and you have no control over that. So that, again, does it go to biology? Open the door there. And you really have no say in the end. Of course, hold on. You could argue, well, if that by that rationale, then murderers, rapists, and alike have a free ride in a way, because then they're not to blame. They have no control over their thing, which I think is bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I'm just entertaining this thought. I'm not saying this is true or the gospel or anything. This is what I believe. I'm just entertaining the thought of free will in a biological sense. Thinking on it today, I came to and this is just today, this could change before I go to bed, when I wake up in the morning, or 5 years from now. I got to think, well, all right, maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe we do have choices with our day-to-day. I wanted to come out here, smoke a pipe, talk to the camera, talk to you guys. That was my choice, my free will. That's what I wanted to do. However, I compare it to my younger self when I desired a woman, and I would chase after that woman, and that's all I could think about. That was my, I wasn't in the driver's seat, so to speak. Biology was. So maybe in that aspect, in that regard, there's a little bit of both, maybe, I guess. Because biologically speaking, you want to be with someone, or you want to, I don't know, you just do something instinctively, as opposed to you being, maybe there's a bit of both. There's whatever makes you, the id, superego, whatever you want to call it, the soul, whatever various names you want to give it. And maybe that's the battle, right? You battle the biological reptile brain stuff going on, and with the conscious that you have, we've evolved to. So maybe it's a bit of that. And why is it almost every time I do a video, my neighbor's car alarm goes off? I don't know why that happens. It's weird. But these are the trials and tribulation of doing a show or video in your shed. George Bruno would understand this. So, again, not a well thought out thought here, but I do tend to believe, like in Star Wars, I always said, well, maybe it was a bit of both. This is kind of where I landed in the Star Wars universe, and maybe this will kind of be the same argument in a way that I was having, where in Star Wars, Anakin, Luke, they were destined to do what they did. However, along the way, they made these choices, which got them to where they wanted to be. So this might sound a little weird, but so the straightest, the fastest way to a certain point, saying destiny. So this is destiny. Here's me, and I need to get there. It's easy to go straight line. You get there, right? But we have choices and free will to a degree, and this is the Star Wars universe I'm using as an example. So Luke makes his choices. He decides to go this way, then this way, then that way, then doing all these things. So it takes a while to get to where the Force, the destiny, or whatever wanted him to go, but he was always going to eventually land there. His choices were just taking him there however he wanted to get there. If that made any sense, which it probably didn't. So, those are just kind of my goofy thoughts on free thought today. So I don't have much on that other than trying to kind of get this convoluted thought in my head of free will. It's kind of not an easy topic to kind of tackle on a Saturday, but I was thinking of it as I was reading the philosophies, and now I'm into Thomas Hobbes. I did the Machiavellian stuff, and is it Machiavellian, or do I say Machiavellian? I don't know. I can't remember that. But in any case, as I'm reading it, you can kind of see the evolutionary process with the policies and politics of the United States and some of the democracies in the world. And now I get a helicopter. This is just crazy times here in the shed. Actually, no, it's a propeller plane. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, so back to the political aspect. So you can kind of see, and I meant to say that we're a constitutional republic, and I can see why, reading this, and how the founders probably came to the conclusion that they did, because they probably read all these Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Hobbes, and all those leading up to the revolution and how they should set up the government and stuff, and it's an amazing thing that happened. So, anyway, that's another whole other thing. But I do believe we have free will. I don't believe in destiny. Everything's predetermined. But biology-wise, I believe there's some things we can't control because the body wants what the body wants, or the mind wants what the mind wants. And we just got to go along for the ride. However, if that's even the case, though, like with their particular behaviors, so say it's like serial killer. They can't control that biologically or whatever, that impulse that makes them do what they do. They murder, they're still held accountable. They still know it's wrong. They just can't help themselves. So it's still not a free ride, if you will. At least that's what I'm going with. You guys may different opinion on this. I'm curious what you guys think about the whole free will thing. Man, Epiphany's pretty good. Forget how good this is. Oh, speaking of which, I'll close the video out with this. Enough with the heavy free will stuff. Not that that was heavy, or was there any real substance to that thought. It was just a thought I entertained today and wanted to share with you guys. Because free will is a very interesting topic to debate and talk about. And I'm sure I'm going to have revisit to the whole free will stuff. I definitely will tackle it again. Might be 2 years from now, or a year, or a month, or whoever knows, or next week, if really. I might have to find some books on free will. Might have to check some of that stuff out. But anyway, so today I did order some more tobacco, more cigars. Davidoff Signature Series. I had to get my own 5-pack. I got some new. I got my Rust tobacco. I got the ice cream again. I stocked up again because I love that. It's my favorite smelling tobacco. And then I got this other one. It was called. Let me see if I can find it in my phone here. Let me see if I can find it, because I got it from. What do you call it? Pipes and Cigars, I believe I got it from. Let me see. Let's see. Nope, that's not it here. Let's see. Oh, I can't seem to find it now. Don't you hate that? You get the... I know this is riveting stuff, but I wanted to find it for you. Just to, I don't know what happened there. Could be in my other email. Hold on. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Duh. BrioWorks Bacon Old Fashioned. 2-ounce jar. Came in and the reason I got it is because it came in a 2-ounce jar, glass jar, like them. And I'm like, oh, well, I could use the jar. I didn't realize the tobacco came with it, but it comes with it. I'm like, oh, 2 for 1 for me. That's a score. I'll go with that. So that'll be an interesting tin note to go over. So we'll see. It's kind of like a morning blend. So we'll do that at one morning coffee thing, which I think will happen tomorrow. I'll have a morning coffee. And then I bought more mason jars because I got to stuff some of these into the jars because they do actually, you'd be surprised. Now, some of that's dried out in that tin because they're in the shed. I'll have to introduce some moisture in there to get it a little more better. Or maybe I'll put it in the jars and see what happens anyway because these hold up well. They're perfect, to be honest. They haven't, not too hot, not like they're just perfect. They didn't get dry or anything. They're doing well, so that's good. So that was it. That was out of boredom. Did a lot of reading today. Not much going on. Saw some friends. Good times. I don't know why, but the camera looks darker in here for some reason. I don't know. Maybe the light's about to go. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to finish my pipe. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow morning if I can get my lazy bones up and do a morning coffee. I think I will. I'm going to do a little bit of reading, finish the pipe, and obviously I got to do it in this kind of a pipe when I have these thinking things and epiphany. This is like the epiphany pipe, I think. This is what I'm going to use epiphany in. Anyway, take care, guys, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.